Hey, this is Brandon Nielsen. Now, I want to go over beautiful face. This is beautiful, how to draw beautiful faces, part 3. I want to go over male and female profile differences. Okay, and this is the male head right here, and this is the female head. You can see the massive differences between the two of them. And how I how I did that is that, as a general rule of thumb, generally, men have more robust features. Most men, at least, and most women have the softer features. Okay, you can see they look really soft here, but really rough and hard. They got hard edges on men. Granted, some women do have hard edges, but not on all features. Like for instance, some women would have like robust forehead with brown bones. Like more pronounced brown bones here. Some women have that. Not all of them have smooth, you know, baby's bottom forehead. You know what I mean? Not a lot of women have, like, not all women have that, but most of them have this look. As a general rule of thumb, okay? So don't feel bad if you're a woman yourself and you don't have those features, like all those features. Don't feel bad because you are guaranteed to have some other feminine features, and you don't really notice that. So don't feel bad about that, okay? So um, now to start, there are more indentions and male foreheads. Okay, you can see the male forehead right here is more pronounced. It has more brown bone, and it sticks out a lot more on the male head. As a rule of thumb, brow bones on males extend further than brow bones on females. Most of the time. So in most gene cases, females' noses. Now we're talking about noses. Female noses are more round than males. So males, you can see, it has a little bit straighter edges on there. Females generally are softer because they have higher body fat than men do. So the edges are harder, and you can see like the brow bone, the cheekbones, and jaw lines more easily on men because men generally have lower percentage of body fat. Women have generally much higher, like I would say like 10% higher on average than men when it comes to body fat percentage. So the reason why is because of pregnancy and things like that. So they need a lot of fat to store for, in case they get pregnant. It's hard to explain, but general rule of thumb, that's mostly what's happening. And that's how you can see large differences between the two. So nose, now back to the nose. Noses on males are usually longer, and sometimes it's just that it would scale with the rest of the head that's bigger. So you can see, like, her nose is not that big, as you have noticed. When it comes to noses, women generally have much smaller noses. Even if they have noses that are much bigger on their bases, they're still smaller compared to men's noses. Generally, I'm serious. So most women, they have really tiny noses, even if they are considered really long. You know what I mean? So now, when it comes to the septum, which is like right here, the septum right here of the male's nose tends to be straighter than females. So you can see the females are smooth and softer because they have a lot of fat in that area. They have a lot of fat in their faces, a lot of fat. Men don't. Men have lower amount of fat on their faces, so you don't see that. You see that on overweight men, they tend to look a little bit more feminine because they have more fat in their faces because they're, very overweight. When women are in shape, they still have a lot of fat on their faces. And think about it, I have a theory. This is why a lot of women keep saying, "Do I look fat in this?" They always think they're fat because they do literally have a lot of percentage of fat in their bodies and their faces and everything. So that's just genetic. That's how it works. That's just the way it is. And now, the concave curves are more apparent between the mouth and the nose on females. So you can see there's a concave. It's like a C. It's like a C right here, but reversed, like the other way. And you can see that, like, the C shape, it's very concave right here. And men, they're the section between the nose and the lip, men's area right here, they have very flat looking shape in that area. It's flat. It's not concave. It doesn't curve up like that. You know what I mean? Now, women's lips are generally thicker than men's. Not always, but most of the time they are. And again, the body fat percentage generally. And men's chins are more pronounced than women's. But some women do have it and still appear attractive anyway. So, like, you can see the chin it's very pronounced here on a female face. It is very pronounced. But it's not as pronounced as men's, Some women do have, like, really large looking chins. Some women do have that. They do have that. But the size of their eyes offset that chin size. It's hard to explain. We will get into that the more I make videos on how to draw beautiful faces. And you'll understand how a female face is supposed to work. But, yeah, that's it for now, for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and hope I see you again the next time.